I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson is a sketch comedy series. Even if someone has not seen the series over the past 2 years, they have probably stumbled upon a meme derived from one of the sketches. One of the more popular is the man in the hot dog costume saying, "We're all trying to find the guy who did this." In the hot dog sketch, a hot dog-shaped car in the style of the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile has crashed into a clothing store. The man in the hot dog costume tries to convince everyone else in the store that they don't know who drove the car and caused the accident. The sketch has been appropriated on social media to be used whenever someone in a position of power is abdicating responsibility.
What happened here?
Yeah, we're all trying to find the guy who did this and give him a spanking.
It's obviously this guy, right?
Yes.
Other popular memes and reaction images come from sketches like Car Ideas and Honk If You're Horny. Social media is populated primarily by millennials and Zoomers, and reaction images from I Think You Should Leave are popular on social media dominated by millennials and Zoomers. Meaning Twitter more than, Facebook. That's for your grandparents. Robinson himself, born in 1981, is an elder millennial. What is it about I Think You Should Leave that resonates so much with the relatively young? It's not enough to say because it's funny. That's not an analysis, that's just a cop-out. Bob's Burgers is also funny, but it's not being referenced by millennial Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Maybe it's this. Maybe I Think You Should Leave reaches people in a novel way that young people find comforting. The comedy from nearly every sketch in the series is driven by a character who is insecure. The series has become required viewing for the 2 generations who have the least amount of savings. We're born into the worst markets, the worst circumstances. The very first sketch has 2 characters, an employer and a prospective employee looking for a job. The prospective employee awkwardly says goodbye after what appears to be an interview that went well for himself. He pulls the door to leave but finds it's a push door. Rather than simply admit a mistake to the man who holds his potential job in his hands, Robinson's character pulls the door harder and harder, eventually breaking it to prove that the door can be pulled open. This is only the first sketch, but nearly every sketch afterwards revolves around someone being insecure. In the birthday party sketch, another character, also played by Robinson, is concerned that his friend does not like his present, and rather than just letting it go, insists upon more and more proof that the friend is not planning to exchange the present with the gift receipt. At first, this insecurity appears relegated only to Robinson's character, but soon infects everyone else at the party. They're all insecure about their gifts and their friendship with the young man celebrating his birthday. Zoomers reaching adulthood right now are discovering what millennials learned a little while ago, that maintaining adult friendships is challenging outside of school or the workplace, and that social media is both the only way to keep in touch and the worst way to keep in touch. The friend celebrating his birthday loses all his friends on his birthday over something trivial.
Now look at you. All alone. Everybody's going to party at my house.
Insecurity is the primary driver of nearly every sketch. In the Christmas Came Early office sketch, the woman who works in the office is deeply insecure about her intelligence and her popularity with her coworkers.
I know that. I'm not stupid. I'm smarter than you.
In the magician sketch, the wife is insecure about how her husband is perceived by others, and this infects the husband in the end. The boyfriend in the Fully Loaded Nachos sketch is so insecure in his relationship that he can't even talk to his own girlfriend about something trivial, but instead needs someone else to do it. The principal in the TC Tugger sketch awkwardly tries to justify the product placement of the show within the show. The ex-husband in the Laser Spine Specialist sketch is insecure about his place in the world and his manhood following his divorce. The husband in the Fenton Stables and Horse Ranch sketch is insecure about the size of his genitals. The series is populated with desperate people trying to convince everyone else that they don't feel desperate. Insecurity and embarrassment go hand in hand. The man in the Caleb Went sketch is choking to death but does not want to embarrass himself in front of a celebrity he admires. The award presenter in the Lifetime Achievement Award sketch desperately tries to cover up the fact that a dog has embarrassed him in front of everyone. The businessman in the Whoopee Cushion sketch is only briefly embarrassed through the oldest trick in the book, but anyone suffering from anxiety knows that there is no such thing as a minor embarrassment. He will recall that incident over and over again through intrusive thoughts for the rest of the day, and probably will be recalled from time to time long after everyone else has forgotten about it. The man in the Bozo sketch wants to fit in so badly that he ends up embarrassing himself in the process. He makes a YouTube video and it's bad and everyone knows it, and it's like, yeah, same. Insecurity about fitting in with others is terrible. The nagging feeling that we don't belong, that we'll never be part of the Turbo team. Anxiety and fear populate these otherwise hilarious sketches, particularly the big fear, the fear of death. There are a lot of references to death and perhaps way too many references to skeletons. The pediatrician in the Baby of the Year sketch is named Dr. Skull. The owners of Fenton Stables and Horse Ranch are named Ted and Emily Skull. In The Ghost of Christmas Way Future, there is a war between humanity and skeletons. In the awkward inserts in the Robert Palin song, Robinson's character speaks of skeletons coming back to fight humanity and have another chance at life. There are 2 separate, unrelated skeleton wars in one season of a comedy series. Not to mention other references to our mortality, such as the entirety of the funeral sketch, another funeral at the end of Honk If You're Horny. In the Babysitter Excuse sketch, Robinson's character says that the babysitter ran over and killed some people, but not to worry because their lives did not matter. The insecure man from the aforementioned birthday party sketch dies at the end of it. The season ends when the man who killed Jim Davis appears, and though the sketch closes abruptly, the implication is that the people are doomed. Young people in the 21st century have a kind of dual perspective on their future. That they are young and everything is ahead of them, but also that their future is nothing. A climate anxiety mixed with a fear of not having enough for retirement. There is this clawing, scratching, desperate energy throughout the entire first season. The biggest of moods for people of a certain age.